Ohlhausen. He is the founder of Old Glory Bank. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for
How
having
has
me.
this weekend been for you?
It's been great. This audience is just fantastic and so much in line with what Old Glory Bank stands for. So it's been really great reception.
Well, that's actually a great segue. Tell us about what Old Glory Bank stands for. Give us the background.
Sure thing. We are a pro-America bank, unabashedly so, that promises not to cancel its customers for their views or the industry they operate in, and also promises to protect their financial privacy and not voluntarily share their personal transaction data with the feds the way large banks have been exposed to have been doing recently.
You mean that's actually going on right now?
Sadly, yes, and it's not just talk about it having happened. It actually came about in congressional hearings that Jim Jordan led earlier this year. Very egregious infringement on individuals' privacy, where voluntarily large banks, Chase, B of A, Wells Fargo, KeyBank, were searching their database of customers. No subpoena involved. We certainly are a lawful bank. We believe in the Constitution. We would honor a lawful subpoena, but that's not what was happening here. And searching for such innocuous things as who shops at Cabela's and Bass Pro and therefore might be a firearms owner and therefore might be a domestic terrorist, put it on these watch lists that otherwise the government can't build on their own, but with cooperation with friendly banks was doing. So it's pretty egregious what was happening. Religious texts being purchased. If Venmo transactions mentioned MAGA or Trump, that put people on the list. And again, their email was exhibits introduced during these hearings. So that's the foundation that we push back strongly against. When we started the bank, or restarted the bank, we're actually a 120-year-old bank in Oklahoma. And my partners and I, when I got the idea a few years ago, wanted to find a bank in a reliably red state that was representative of middle America, not just geographically, obviously, but also culturally representative. And we found a bank, First State Bank of Elmore City. We renamed it Old Glory Bank, layered a digital branch on top of it, and in about the past year and a half have grown from approximately 250 customers to over 45,000 customers. Every state of the union, people who've gone to oldglorybank.com to open an account. I love to point out that early on, our message about Old Glory Bank, even before we found a bank to acquire, drew the attention of some really prominent patriots and folks that your audience will be very familiar with.
You're so ahead of me. I was just going to ask you about that. Why don't you tell us about that?
I love talking about it. Secretary Ben Carson and Larry Elder are co-founders with me. Both are on our board. So not just spokesmen, they're actually part of the team. Country singer John Rich, a proud patriot, he's one of my co-founders as well. Bill Shine served in the previous Trump administration as Deputy Chief of Staff. He's our executive chairman. And Mary Fallon Christensen, she's a two-term former Republican governor of Oklahoma. And since we're an Oklahoma bank, we were excited to have her get involved and just loving it.
How many branches do you guys have across the country right now?
Our model is as an online and mobile bank experience.
So it doesn't matter what state you're in.
That's right. So most people, if you think back, when's the last time you really had a need to step into a branch? People have to scratch their head to think of when that might have happened last. We've really solved everything that someone would otherwise feel a need to step into a branch to experience. And by that, certainly everyone has experienced with their current bank, online bill pay, direct deposit of either their compensation or Social Security benefits. So certainly we do all of that. Mobile check deposits where you can take a picture of your check to deposit. One thing that we're extremely proud to have solved beyond some of those obvious things that are available is cash in is our service that we refer to. And because that's the one gap someone might say with an online bank, I make money and it's a server, tip money, or maybe on the weekends I have projects, I make money, or I sold a sofa and I have $400. How do I get it into my account? We set up a relationship with 88,000 retail locations clear across the country, and that is every large big box store you can think of, from convenience stores to pharmacies to the big box, general merchandise stores, where you just show your Old Glory Bank app, they'll scan it, you hand over $400, let's say, and it's instantly credited to you.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
So to answer your question, we do not plan on rolling out more branches. We have the one that's been there for the past 120 years in Oklahoma. And right now we just continue to get customers online at oldglorybank.com.
Wow, as the Chief Strategy Officer, what does the next 3 to 5 years look like for you guys?
We look forward to continuing to grow. As I described, we've been really excited to the market receptivity that we've experienced.
Sure.
We think we can grow tenfold and even more so beyond that. It's really right now a point of getting the message out, showing people that they can experience financial liberty at a bank that is proudly American, proudly supports the military and police. We do. Interestingly, I'll point out this past week we announced that people can be an owner of Old Glory Bank as well. We just announced that we have gone public. We were approved by the SEC very recently, and people can go to own.oldglorybank.com and learn about that and support financial liberty in America. Beyond being a customer, you can be an owner, should that make sense for the individual.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on today and telling us about Old Glory Bank. Where can people go to find this?
Oldglorybank.com. It's really straightforward, and we have a lot there, not just talking about the products, but also talking about debanking, the cancel culture, this data privacy invasions I described, and just other things that learn about our co-founders and Larry Elder and Ben Carson and John Rich. So
excellent.
Thank you for
Thank you so much for coming on today, and have a great rest of your time in America.
All right, you too. Thank you.